Hi viewers, I am Dr. Velavan, Faculty School of Management, Shastra, University. In this session, we are going to discuss about returns and forms in GST. So what are all the various returns we have to submit in the appropriate times, and what are the forms are available in GST. Because we have to file monthly return, quarterly return, half-yearly return, annual return and final return. The GST 1 to 11 we have to discuss. GST 1 is for outward supplies. Here we have to submit the details about the outward supplies. And GST 2 is for inward supplies. So likewise we have to discuss one by one. Before that, you have to know, we have to discuss 174 sections in GST. In GST there are 174 sections and 3 schedules. They are related to supply, and we have to discuss 162 rules. So 174 sections, 3 schedules and 162 rules. So once we complete all, we feel that we have discussed and we study well GST. Before we have covered and discussed 36 sections in a different topic. Start from the beginning: exemptions, definitions, exemptions, supply, mixed supply, composite supply, registration from 21 to 31, registration, etc. Here, what are the sections we have to cover? Section 37 is furnishing detail of outward supplies. Here we have to file GST 1. Furnishing details of outward supplies. Outward supplies means who are all buying goods from us. Details about sales, simple. You have to upload the details about sales, is called outward supplies. Outward, going out from our business. Usually when the goods are going from our business, this is called sales. Outward, outgoing. So here we have to follow section 37. Section 38, furnishing detail of inward supplies. GST 2, inward supplies. Information regarding purchase. Who are all supplied goods to us? From where we bought goods? From where or from who we bought goods? This is furnishing details of inward supply. So 38 is for inward supplies. 37 is for outward supply. Simply you have to upload the details about the quantity, rate, total amount. Suppose you have any returns, deduct after deducting return, what will be the net amount of purchase. So here you have to pay some tax. This is called input tax. Inward tax is nothing but input tax. You can claim this tax against output tax payable in previous one, section 37. Hope you could understand. Section 39 is for furnishing of returns. Furnishing of returns. We have to fulfill all the informations in the returns and we keep ready to file the return here. Section 40 is first return, maybe a monthly return. So what is return? Return is nothing but we are going to inform what are the transactions we have during the previous year. Furnishing the information about purchase and sales in the form of return is called filing of return. We are informing, we are intimating to the government. These are all the transactions we have, these are all the sales, these are all the purchases we have. Likewise, we are going to inform, we are going to intimate to the government. Based on that, they will calculate our tax liability and we can also adjust our input tax and will find the final output tax. This is 40. 41, claim of input tax credit and provisional acceptance thereof. Section 41 deals with the claim of input tax credit. Because we have both purchases and sales, my dear students. So, when we paid tax on purchase, it has to be adjusted against the tax on sales, which we already collected from the customers. Because all of you know, customers are the end point in the supply chain of business transactions. They are the end point. They are responsible for GST. Because this is consumption based tax. Who consume the goods, they have to pay tax. So here, what is the eligibility criteria for claiming ITC? What are all the documents we must have to claim ITC? What are all the manners of utilization of ITC against output tax payable? So everything. Then section 42 is matching, reversal and reclaim of reduction in output tax liability. If anything is possible, here you have to discuss the matching, reversal, reclaim of reduction in output tax liability. Then 44 is annual return. Annual return. Annual return. When we have to file annual return, what is the due date for annual return? What are all the documents, what are all the information we need to upload? Everything is available in section 44. Final return. Final return is we have to file the end of the year after filing all the periodical returns like monthly returns, quarterly return, half yearly return, annual return. Finally, we have to file final return. So here sections 45 deals with final return. Section 46 deals notice to return defaulters. Sometimes some registered persons, they have not filed return properly. When they are not filing return properly, the proper officer will send notice to them. Based on the notice sent by the proper officer, the registered persons, they have to reply and will take steps for filing the return. Then section 47 deals for levy of late fee. Usually delay in filing is quite nature. Who are all filing return after the due date of filing return, they will be punished. So they have to pay late charge. Will charge by the proper officer. Then 48 goods and services tax bracket. What are all the items will be in different rate of tax. So this is what the number of sections to be covered in this unit, my dear students. Now we are going to discuss about section 37. Furnishing details of outward supplies. At the time of filing GST I, what are all the informations you have to give? At the time of filing outward supplies. So number one, persons required to furnish details of outward supplies. Those who are to be filed outward supplies. I mean GST are written to outward supply, one outward supply, not two, one outward supply, except every registered person including citizen, casual taxable person. They have not necessary to file GST R1. IST, Input Service Distributor, NRTB, Non-Resident Taxable Person, the persons paying tax under the composition scheme. We'll discuss later what is composition scheme. The person deducting tax at source, TDS, those who are deduct TDS, and the person collecting tax at source, TCS. Here economic commerce operator not being an agent. That is very, very important because they are separate entity. Suppliers of online information and database access or retrieval services, OIDAR. The above people not necessary to provide the details of outward supplies, because they are not involving supply of goods to the customers. Most probably they are doing services. Then number 2 in section 37, furnish in form GST 1 electronically in the common portal. You have to furnish GSTR form 1. So now I am going to show what is the GSTR 1. You wait, I will show. I will show the GSTR 1, dear students. Yeah. You see, this is GSTR 1, my dear students. This form you have to file. You see, this is a heading. What they have mentioned: details of outward supplies of goods or services. Here you have to furnish the details about supply of goods or services. Here you have to mention year 2023 or 2024 or 2021, month, in which month you are filing return, either maybe May, June, April to March. Then number 1, GST in, your GST number. GST in means Goods and Service Tax, India. GST in number. So this is a 15-digit number. Once you registered your business, this number will come. You have to enter the GST number here. Okay. 1 minute. I have to try to. Here you have to write the month, April, May. Here you have to write the year 2023. Okay, like that. Here you have to write the 15-digit number, your GST number. Legal name of the registered person. It may be an individual or firm or company, whatever it may be. Here you have to write your name of business. Name of business. This is the form we are going to submit, my dear students. Trade name, if any, everything is possible. Here you have to write aggregate turnover in the preceding financial year. What is your last year total turnover? Aggregate turnover, the preceding previous year. Total turnover, here you have to write. Then here you have to write the total turnover, maybe 55 lakhs or crore, whatever it may be. Aggregate turnover in April to June. For the first 3 months, April, May, June, 3 months. What is your aggregate turnover? Here they have mentioned 2017, but you take 2022. Okay, because this form is introduced when the GST is introduced. Okay, it was introduced in 2017. That's why they have mentioned here. Okay, then Taxable outward supplies made to registered person, including UNI holder, unique identity number, other than supplier covered by table 6 will follow later. So you see details of outward supplies who are all buying goods from you. You have to enter the details of them. You see their number, invoice, rate, taxable value, integrated tax, if you are paid anything, GST, central tax, then state tax. Central tax means CGST, state tax means what? GST and union territory tax, union territory. Suppose you may pay any compensation, cess, it will also. So you have to input, you have to give all the details. Then supplies other than those attracting reverse charges and supplies made through e-commerce operator. Suppose you have everything, you have to mention here. Then supplies attracting tax on reverse charge basis. Suppose you have any supplies regarding reverse charge mechanism, here you have to list out, you have to enter. Supplies made through e-commerce operator at a TCS. Okay, and tax collected at source, and GST in e-commerce operator. If anything you have, you simply enter the values and all. Okay. Then taxable outward interstate supplies to unregistered person where the invoice is more than 2.5 lakh. Interstate, you supply goods from one person to another, one state to another state, but the person who is buying your goods from other state, but they are not registered their business properly. But when you sell goods to them more than 2.5 lakhs, here you have to enter. So everything you have to mention here. You see what all the information they require, you have to give, because this is the standard format. If the content are applicable to you, you fill, otherwise you leave it. Simply put it nil, 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 nil. That's all. But compulsorily you have to file this form. You have to file this form. That is very, very important. Then taxable zero rated supplies and deemed export. Suppose you supply any goods, they are zero rated goods. Zero rated means you need not collect any tax from the suppliers. Zero rated. So here you have list out all the informations. Number, date, value, that's all. Both IGST, CGST, HGST. How can you enter, sir? At the time of buying, they give a bill, invoice. This invoice contains all detail. You need not worry about that. At the time of sale, you give invoice. You issue. At the time of sale, you get at the time of purchase. They issue. Suppliers will issue. And do you have any export? You have to give detail about the export here. The supplies made to cess, special economic zone or special economic zone developer. You have any sales or transaction with them, it is also mentioned here. Deemed exports. Do you have any deemed exports? This is also mentioned here. Then you see taxable supplies, net of debit note and credit note to unregistered person other than the supplies covered in table 5. You see what is table 5? Table 5 is for what? Yeah, taxable outward interstate supply. So here you are going to give taxable supply to unregistered person, other than means, so this is intrastate. Because point number 5 is purely meant for interstate, when you transfer goods from your state to another state, when you sell goods from your state to another state. This is intrastate. When are you selling? When you sell goods in between the state. So your customers are all local customers. So rate of tax, total taxable value. What is integrated tax here? Integrated, not possible. Then CGST, HGST, and if anything is available, chess, you have to enter. Then consolidate rate wise, because you may sell different variety of goods, you have to charge different GST, so you have to list out all the detail in rate wise. Then 7B, out of the supplies mentioned 7B, the place of supply name, everything. 7B interstate supply where invoice value is up to 2.5 lakh. Then 8, nil rated exempted non-GST outward supply. So you see, even though you are supply non-rated or exempted goods, everything should be mentioned, because the government should know what are the goods you are selling. They have to know what is your nature of business. Okay. That's why they ask you to give all information, even though you sell taxable or nil rated or exempted. Everything should be uploaded. Everything should be uploaded. Then amendments to taxable outward supply details furnished in return for earlier tax period. If in table 5, 6, including debit note, credit note, everything. So here you see what are all the informations they want, everything you have to furnish. Amendment to taxable outward supplies to unregistered person, furnish return earlier tax period. So you see, but no problem. When you see whether they are applicable to you or not, you find out whether they are applicable or not. What all the informations are applicable to you, you have to fill. Unless otherwise you leave it and put nil and submit the return. Then 11, consolidated statement of advances received, advances adjusted. If anything you have, everything should be mentioned here. Usually we pay advance at the time of placing order. So in this situation, you have to take this one. Information for the current tax period. What is your intrastate supply, interstate supply, in rate wise, okay, rate wise, everything you have to mention. HSN wise summary of outward supply. This is also you have to given. HSN means harmonized symptom of nomenclature. This is what we use to identify the number, description of goods, classification and description of goods here. Based on the HSN, you have to list out one by one. Then a document issued during the tax period. What are the documents you have to issue? Invoice for the outward supply, invoice for inward supply for unregistered person, revised invoice, debit note, credit note, receipt voucher, payment voucher, refund voucher, delivery challan for job work, delivery challan for supply on approval, delivery challan in case of liquid gas, delivery challan in case of other than by way of supply excluding in serial number 9 to 11. So you have to submit all the details, serial number, from, total number, cancelled, issued, everything. Then after giving all the information, start from 1 to 13. 1 to 13. You download this form. It is available in the website. You do not worry about that. Simply you have to type returns and forms in part B, returns and forms part B 2017. So everything will come. It is available in the internet. Okay, you download and refer and see what are all the documents we have to, because all forms are available in the website, because you have to see the form return first. So this is what we are going to file, they are going to file. Without seeing this type of return, you study about this return without seeing this one, I think not meaningful one. So you download and see the form, then you study. It will help you to understand easily. Okay. Then verification. Here you have to give one declaration. All informations are correct. Suppose you have given a fake information, will be punished. Then instruction. How can you give all the information? You see, this is the conditions. These are the tips they have given to you at the time of filing this form. So this is what very important, my dear students. Okay. So this is what GST I we have to file. This is meant for outward supplies, information regarding outward supply. Okay, so likewise we have to see 11 forms. We have to see 11 forms. Okay. Yeah, this is GST I. See rule 59, because already I told you we have to discuss 169 rules, 172 sections and 3 schedules in the GST. So GST I is coming under rule 59.1. Okay, GST I. Hope you can understand, and I hope all of you saw this one. Okay, you see again. All are very simple, but you have in your hand, you have to give. There are 13 points are there. There is no chance for applicable all the 13 columns or 13 information, record information for a single individual, a company or a trader. Okay, what are the points are applicable to you, you give. Otherwise you leave, unless otherwise you leave it. Ignore them. Okay. So now I will close this one. Yeah. Again I will back to GST I. Please wait. Yes. So furnishing in form GST I. So all of you have, I hope you have seen the GST I. because I have shown to you. Then number 3, due date of submission of GST I. When you have to file GST I? Can file between 1st and 10th for the succeeding month. The 10th day of the next month will be the last date for, due date for filing of the monthly return. Suppose you are doing business in Chennai, now you are in, suppose what is the month of, what is this month? This month is, I think, November. So within 10th of December, you have to file the return. This return will carry the details of transaction during the month of November. So what are all the transactions you have? Both outward, inward, everything for the month of for a month, for 30 days. You are in month of November, so you have to file the return before the 10th of December. So 10 days time. Cannot file between 11th and 15th in the succeeding month. Suppose you cannot file. You fail to file within 10 days, but even though they give some times to you, at least you have to file the return in between 11th to 15th, but cannot file. But qualifying quarterly filing, its aggregate turnover is less than 1.5 crore before 13th of the month of this succeeding quarter. Suppose you are filing quarterly return, your turnover is not more than 1 crore. So before 13th of the month of the succeeding quarter, suppose you are in June. June is the first quarter. At least 13th day of the July, you have to file the first quarter return. Cannot file GST I before the end of the current tax period. Casual taxable person after closure of their business, cancellation of GST in favor of a normal taxpayer. That is very, very important. They have to file. Suppose you are going to close your business, after closing your business, you have to file. Suppose you cancelled your GSTR, GST registration, up to cancellation you have to file. Content in GSTR 1. What are the informations you have to fulfill, you have to fill, because previously we have seen the form, details of documents issued, the last points, probably 13th point, all of you have seen. Basic and other details. So it's again, I will show the form later. GSTR number, legal name of the legal name and trade name, aggregate turnover of the previous year, tax period, year and month, taxation wise summary of output, details of document issued. All the informations are available in the form. They are basic informations. They are called basic information. We have to give this information compulsory because they are about the trader. The other part is about the customers. The other part is B2B, including UNI holder, unique identity number. B2C, interstate supplies where invoice value is greater than 2.5 lakh, else consolidated details should be given. You need not give a breakup of, you need not give all customers detail when your turnover is less than 2.5 lakh. And also zero rated and deemed export goods. Suppose you supply zero rated, the information or details regarding the zero rated goods. When you issue debit note and credit note, nil rated, exempted, non-GST, amendment for prior period, advance received, adjusted, everything will be shown in the return because return contains the detailed information of your trade. The detailed information. So these are all the informations available in the GST I along with place of supply, time of supply. And kinds of details of outward supplies to be uploaded. What are all the kinds of details of outward supplies to be uploaded? B2B supplies, invoice-wise details of all supplies, both inter and intra. B2B, business to business. Business to business means transfer goods from one entity to another entity, one company to another company. B2B supplies, invoice-wise details of all supplies, inter and intrastate. B2C supply, B2C, business to customers. B2C means customer. Customer public, third party. Interstate sale supplies, in case of interstate supplies, invoice wise details if invoice is greater than 2.5 lakh. But your total sales is below 2.5 lakh, you need not give the detail wise information one by one. You give a consolidated figure. This month's turnover is 2.25 lakh, 2.40 lakh. But when your turnover exceeds 2.5 lakh, you have to give the detail about the customers one by one. State-wise, consolidated details if invoice is less than 2.5. Your invoice is less than 2.5, state-wise and rate-wise, you have to give a consolidated detail. Intra-state supply, consult details of all supplies. Intra-state supply within the state. Indication of assets and detail. Annual turnover the previous year up to 1.5 crores nil. 1.5 to 5 crores 2. Number of digits in HSN. Up to 1.5 crore, no HSN number. Your turnover exceeds 1.5, 2-digit number you have to given. More than 5, 4-digit number you have to given. But all are available. Then, communication of details of GSTR1 to the recipient. Those who are all buying goods from us, they also receive the information. When you insert their data, immediately they receive. The pop-up information is also get in their system. When I am doing B2B business only, Part A of Form GSTR 2A, Form GSTR 4A for composition levy. Part A of Form GSTR 2A. A is a verification form. Once you upload, you receive one form, you have to check, then find out the errors and some other missing item, then you make the correction, then file. Amendments for outward supply furnishing prior period. Anything you have to tell them, you see. Scope of amendment corrections, entry, debit and credit note or refund voucher, anything are available, you have to make corrections regarding debit note, credit note, refund. So here the corrections will be made. They will give a chance to you to have any corrections. They allow you to correct. Particulars furnished in GSTR 1 of prior period can be amended by way of amendment table given in GSTR 1 of subsequent period data entry error. If anything you committed some mistake, they give some chance. Rectification of error, time limit for rectification. Time limit is whichever is earlier date of filing of annual return or due date of filing the return for the month of September following the end of the financial year. So due date, filing the due date of filing the annual return 31st December every year 31st December. Here you have to file return January to December. January to December you have to file. So due date of filing the return is December, not January, April to May, but the due date of annual return is 31st December. Or 30th September of the following year, whichever is earlier. So obviously 31st December will come. 31st December will come. Other points regarding GSTR 1. Nil return by SMS GSTR 1 need to be filled even if there is no business. Taxpayer applying for GST in cancellation is required to file GSTR 1 up to the active period. Suppose you are going to cancel your business, up to the date of cancellation you have to file the GSTR 1. taxpayer converted from normal taxpayer to composition taxpayer should furnish GSTR1 up to the period of being normal taxpayer. Now you are in a normal taxpayer. Now you decide to shift from normal tax paying system to composition tax pay scheme of tax payment. Up to when you are going to shift, up to the date of shift, you have to file the return GSTR1, because GSTR1 is nothing but the detailed information regarding your supplies of goods or services. Okay. Section 39, furnishing of returns. Furnishing of returns. Monthly return is furnished in GSTR 3B by every registered person. This is called monthly return. This is what GSTR 1 is. I think it's a quarterly return. See, please wait. I will show in detailed table. GSTR is monthly statement of outward supplies and quarterly statement of outward supplies, both. When your turnover more than 1.5 crore, you have to file GSTR1 every month. When your turnover is less than 1.5, so you have to file once in a quarter. So GSTR1 is applicable both monthly as well as quarterly. But when you have to file monthly, when you have to file in terms of quarterly, the annual aggregate turnover will decide. Okay. So GSTR1 monthly statement based on your turnover, the 10th of the next month, the 10th of the next quarter. Next quarter means, suppose you are in June, July 10th. Monthly return means next month of 10th. Then GSTR monthly return, RP, 20th of next month. Then will followed by one by one. GSTR 4, 5, 9, 10 will follow one by one. Then monthly return is furnished in GSTR 3B for every registered person, my dear students, except ISD, NRTP, composition taxpayer, a person deducting tax at source, a person collecting tax at source, ECO and YDR. They will not submit monthly return. GSTR 3B, not necessary. But what is the due date of GSTR 3B? So first you have to see the GSTR 3B form. What is the format? What are all the informations we need to fill up in GSTR 3B. Already told you they are available. They are available because returns are very, very important. Due date of filing annual return. When your turnover is more than 5 crore, 20th of the succeeding month. Less than 5 crore, 22nd or 24th, depending upon the state or UT. So the due date is purely based on the aggregate turnover. Okay. And GSTR 3B can be submitted electronically only. So nil GSTR 3B can be filed through SMS and has no entries in any table. There is no information, no problem. You don't have even a single transaction, you have to file the return. But nil GSTR cannot be filed if the taxpayer has made any outward supply or revised supplies that are taxable under reverse charge mechanism. Suppose you are supply goods on reverse charge mechanism, you need not pay. You need not file the GSTR 3. So in two cases you need not file GSTR 3. One is when you have a nil transaction and when you have a reverse charge transactions. I mean reverse charge supplies. Usually reverse charge is applicable for services. When we provide consultation services, here the party will pay directly to the government. We won't collect and pay. Ask them to pay directly. Then content of GSTRB. So we have to discuss all the points one by one, but it will take huge time. So we'll discuss in the next session. Now I am going to conclude this session with one appeal. I request all of you to download the different forms and returns in the GST portal, or simply you type returns and forms in GST Part B 2017. Part B 2017. We will get all the forms. You see the form, what are all the informations they ask us to fill. Because you have to see, then only you can understand. Oh, these are all the points we need to give. And also, what are the types of return? What is GSTR 1? What is GSTR 2, 2A, 3B? Because already we discussed there are different types of returns are there. Monthly return, quarterly return, final return, annual return. When we have to file GSTR 1 on monthly basis, when we have to file GSTR 1 on quarterly basis. So everything you have to know and understand, because this is a final stage. So I will continue the same topic, returns and forms in GST, in the next session also, because we have to discuss lot in this unit. Okay, so with your permission I leave. Thank you for your patient listening. So I request all of you to watch the video and refer the materials. Okay. They will help you to score good marks. Bye. Thank you.